All right. Hello and welcome back to the Anime Happy Hour podcast. I'm Jonathan, and tonight I am joined here today by my two co-hosts. First, per usual, we have our buddy Jake.
What's up?
And tonight we actually have a guest filling in, the one and only Richard Garwood.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Kirk's out tonight due to prior arrangements. So we have our new friend joining in for this episode. In case this is your first time joining us, we're the Anime Happy Hour podcast. Every week, we kind of hang out, have a drink, discuss the world of anime and what's going on in it, while sharing our thoughts and opinions on various episodes from certain shows. Before we get started, a few disclaimers. We're an anime podcast, but we're also an adult podcast, so yeah, there's going to be swearing. If you don't like it, sucks to suck.
Fuck off.
We also discover recent events from episode to episode from new and old shows. So here's your spoiler warning in the beginning of the episode. Lastly, these are our own opinions, so don't get too salty. I'm sure you have your own opinions. Leave them in the comments if you feel like you need to. Feel free to reach out to us. Any questions, concerns, kind words, let us know how you feel. You can reach us. You can search our Facebook page at Anime Happy Hour Pod 03. You can email us at animehappyhour951@gmail.com. You can also see all of our links at anchor.fm/happyanimehour03. Now, I guess we'll dive right into our show. Seeing how you're our guest, Richie, what do you got in the glass tonight? What are we drinking?
I went with Old Faithful, good old Jack Honey and some Coke. It has done me wrong a couple of times, but I'll always go back to it.
Yeah, a very comforting drink. You know, can always rely on it.
Oh yeah.
Jake, what do we got going on?
Before we get to that, John, what are you drinking?
Oh, okay. Oh, so you're asking me now. You know.
Well, you made such a big deal about it last time we recorded.
I know. Well, this is a re-record. So technically, it's before, but it's okay. I know how I feel. I know how you feel.
So then you had no reason to complain.
Yeah. Honestly, it might be a good idea. It might be a bad idea. But I'm drinking High Noon. But I also put Crown in it. So we'll see how the outro goes. Let me put it that way.
As long as you get through it, it doesn't matter if anyone can understand what you say.
I don't know. We've had a few episodes where I've slurred my words by the time we hit the end. So
yeah.
As long as you don't get me too pissed off tonight like last time, we'll see.
Well, you know.
Jake, what do you got going on?
I'm just drinking some Voodoo Ranger IPA. I'm not drinking at the moment, for diet reasons, so I chose a beer that I hate, so I wouldn't drink that much of it.
That's why you just got to switch over to liquor,
True.
Yeah, well.
Go on the white girl diet.
It's true.
Just straight vodka all the time. You won't even think twice about it. You won't even gain weight,
I'd probably lose weight.
Yeah, probably.
For real. That's,
Need to start a real bad cocaine habit.
I mean, we are it's called Happy Hour for a reason.
Yeah.
You gotta get happy.
If we're sober, it's kind of depressing, Kirky's done that a few weeks, Wouldn't know how it feels. So, I mean, I guess with Richie here, and we haven't really heard from him yet, so why don't we see what you've been watching? Anything recent? You're kind of somewhat new into the anime world over the last year or two, so I know you've been trying to...
Yeah, I have done this thing. It's probably not the best idea, so I've committed to every single day I watch one episode of One Piece, Shippuden, and Black Clover. It's like, because either way, I'm probably going to binge through them if I don't do that. So
Jake is a One Piece fiend.
Yeah, I respect it.
Yeah, I just finished the Alabasta arc, so, we're getting there. Slowly but
Solid.
surely.
Solid.
All right,
Only,
dubbed or subbed?
800 more episodes to go.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
real.
I'm only 10% of the way there, but But I am, I'm a sub man. I love my sub.
Respect right there.
I think the only show I really liked better in dub is The Rising of the Shield Hero. I honestly really like the dub in that one.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like one of those main studios. When you get into like the main big studios that make the Shonen Jump type shows, it's always the same people. I mean, you have
Oh
like the
yeah.
same people recording for like a few different characters in the same show, so it kind of gets repetitive. But when you get into like
Well, if
other
it comes
studios,
out on Funimation, they have like a staff of voice actors for Funimation that does all the dubbing.
yeah, it gets a little repetitive. But nah, I'm a big fan of subbed. I'm right along there with you. Anything else? I mean, how do you like Black Clover?
Black Clover, I love it. I'm in the middle of the reincarnation, so fighting all the elves. So it's gotten a lot better over these last few episodes.
In the new, while they're in the city, Clover Kingdom?
Yeah, they're in the kingdom. They're about to go fight Licht and all them. I think they're going to that space. I forget what it's called.
Okay.
And,
Oh,
Yami.
word. You're like
They're
towards the
catching
end
up
of
to
it.
Yami. Yeah.
Towards the end of it. How'd you like the King fight?
Oh my god, so good! It was absolutely insane. Such good animation as well.
Just wait, dude. After that arc, it's one of my favorite arcs is after that arc. The last arc before the season cutoff happened.
Okay.
So good, because they do a time skip and everything. And,
good to know.
dude, it's one of my favorites. I can't wait for the new season. They actually confirmed a movie eventually, but
Yeah, I think it's 2023 release. I want to say.
yeah, it's
late
early 2023. I think. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see. Hopefully, it comes out soon. I don't want to wait 4 more years for a new Black Clover season. So
True. Yeah, it's gonna take.
then
forever.
again, I have to throw in my plug here. I've waited over 10 for Bleach, so
Bleach his ass.
Well, I'm not going there tonight, Jake. Well, maybe.
I can't comment. I've never watched it, so.
Yeah, for
no,
real.
I'm just messing around. That's what I got John heated up about last time was Bleach.
Oh, I can imagine. He defends that show hard.
Dude, and the fact that they're finally coming out with the only probably one of the best arcs ever in the show.
It's not going to change the fact that Ichigo has the most plot armor.
Jake.
I mean, I'm just saying. No, not many people can survive a giant ass hole in their chest just because, oh no, they're magically a hollow.
Jake, we went over this last night. I'm not going to get in the argument with you.
Don't worry, I'll think of something else about Bleach.
But Orihime is also a waifu,
Yeah.
OG.
I like Rukia better, but...
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
Rukia is the mom. You get the mom feels.
Yeah.
Orihime is kind of your guilty pleasure type thing, Two completely different people. The damsel in distress type character there.
I don't know. We never would have had a Hueco Mundo arc if Orihime would have just, been sensible.
And could actually do something.
Yeah.
Or Chad.
Dude, Chad is a Chad.
Chad is a Chad. Well, Jake, do you got any new updates? You've been watching anything? What you got going on?
No. For this episode, it was corrupted, right? So it didn't come out. So I'll just talk about what I talked about then. One Piece episode 1000.
Yep. Had come out. Yep.
Yeah, they redid the opening, which was fantastic. I won't say any spoilers or anything. It's just not much happened that episode, but the way nothing happened, but it was very satisfying.
The original.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I respect what they did there. I mean, we got another 200 episodes before the end of the arc, so.
No. Dude, we're almost there, guy.
I don't know. I feel like it'll drag out a little bit.
The manga's only like 30 chapters ahead by now or whatever, and it's almost there.
How far into Wano are we? Right? Close.
We're in the final battle, dude.
I know, but how many episodes? We're pretty deep into Wano, aren't we?
Wano started at like 896 or something, and we're at like 1,005, 1,006.
So we're over 100 episodes at this point.
Yeah, we're getting to. I think the Dressrosa arc was like 130 episodes. Same with Whole Cake Island. So I would imagine we're coming up on the end.
892 is the and we just hit 1,004.
Yeah.
So we're over 100 at this point. They also just put up an EP, which, bro, come on now. No, but I mean, other than that, you got anything going on? We kind of covered it in the last episode. A lot of shows have come to a conclusion over the last few weeks. A few of them you got to catch up on still. Mushoku Tensei and everything. I mean, have you caught up on Mushoku Tensei?
I haven't, no. I'm 3 weeks. Last episode I saw was when Eris left.
Oh, so you're almost there. I think there's only one more.
Yeah, something like that. I'm like 2 or 3 weeks behind on everything. Except I'm like 5 weeks back on Fruit of Evolution, which is a damn shame because. I mean,
even though it's like one of the worst rated shows of the last year.
Yeah, because people have bad taste.
Dude, everybody loves a donkey girl. What are you saying?
Gorilla Girl, you know? I mean, everybody has their niche.
I stick by it, dude. Saria is a better waifu than Eris.
I don't know. I mean, I guess they're technically both redheads.
No, they look exactly the same, except Saria has bigger boobs and is actually a good character who likes the main character.
Eris is also 14.
That's a valid point. I'll give you that one.
I mean, come on now.
Yeah, but it's anime.
True, you can't really see. Yeah, the age, let's be real, doesn't really mean that much in anime.
Roxy.
So is Momo.
I'm still cheering for Roxy,
Hero.
so, you know. Roxy still, I'm hoping, like, comes out with the clutch in the end. She's kind of been gone for a while.
Yeah, well. Yeah, Roxy's the best waifu in the show by far.
Might have to get me a little like the figurine, you know, that came out.
I was really hoping that like episode and a half where that like Prince kidnapped Rudius to like trap her and make her his like sex slave. I was really hoping that arc would play out more because that was super interesting.
Yeah, they didn't even show him. Like, it was just Rudius in the basement and then like his handler. Like, I don't know. Either way, I guess that's kind of all we gotta really cover this week in our updates. Keep you updated, Richie, on Black Clover. All right,
I'll let you know.
One Piece or Naruto. I've watched enough of that already.
Whoa.
One Black Clover slept on, so
Black Clover's not slept on. One Piece is. Dude. Everyone and their brother nowadays watches Black Clover. Nobody wants to watch
Everybody
One Piece
watches. Don't even get me started right now. Black Clover gets so much hate for no reason.
Black Clover gets a lot of hate because in the first episode, Asta yelled a lot. I'll give you that. But everyone loves Black Clover.
If you can get over Asta's voice,
it's
then
like
you're good.
right behind My Hero for non-anime watchers' favorite anime.
I can definitely see that.
I wouldn't even put it on. Dude, you can't put it on the My Hero stage. Come on now.
I said it's right behind it.
I don't know about all that. Naruto, easy Naruto OG
Yeah, but that's you watched as a kid. I'm talking about adults watching now.
Adults watching now. New people getting into. That's the starter. If we're talking starter packs right now, we're talking starter packs. That's easily My Hero and then Naruto. Because those are the two shows that I've ever heard from anybody who's just starting to try to get into anime.
As long as they're not watching Boruto, then they will like anime.
I mean, if anybody starts with Boruto, then you deserve a lot of bad things to happen to you.
I see a bunch of memes that it's like talking to a kid who's like, Boruto's dad is such a bitch. Why is he even in the show?
Yo, tell me about it. Or like, Sakura's dope. All right.
Yeah.
Get out of here with that shit. Or Sasuke's a bitch. Like, hop off that.
Yeah, well, the freaking
in
author
Boruto
made
he is.
Sasuke a bitch. There's no shot Boruto takes his eye, dude.
He is
no
a bitch
shot.
in Boruto. Well, the later episodes of Boruto. You got to remember, one of the greatest Naruto fights was in the Boruto show and movie.
Yeah, but that was like 10 minutes of Boruto. The only full arc I watched...
That was actually a crazy long fight. That was like 16 minutes. For like most big name fights.
One episode.
And yeah.
I'm talking about the one arc I watched was when they traveled back in time. I'm pretty sure most of Boruto's filler. Mm-hmm. When they traveled back in time. And Sasuke couldn't fight anyone because he has to recover his chakra or something because he can only use it so much because of the Rinnegan. It's like, since when? Since when is that a drawback of the Rinnegan?
Yeah, nobody's had that problem but you. Nagato literally blew up a city for fun.
And then revived everyone.
Yeah. No problems there.
In all a matter of like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
But, all right. Well, I mean, I guess with that, we'll kind of slide right into our news topic this week. See what we got going on. Any cultured people who watch anime would know of the show High School DxD.
The greatest.
Yep.
Oh, it's
of
amazing.
Course. Waifu, 100%. All that show.
Hold on.
Today.
Before we get into this, I've been wanting to talk about this for a while.
Oh, Lord.
Who is your waifu from DxD?
I mean, man, you got... It depends on the day. Because, you know, you have, like... I feel like everybody's main, like, waifus. But I feel like if you switch it up a little bit, that's kind of brutal.
It's not Rias. It's
Rias?
Akane, 100%.
I don't know.
Rias is overrated as a waifu. It's Akane. That's my position on it.
I mean, fair enough. I mean, you can't hate on Rias, though. Like, yeah, she's...
I don't hate on Rias. I just think, you know, she gets more love than she deserves.
I mean, I get that. But can we blame them for giving her more, you know? Giving her a little bit too much attention? She's like the OG.
I guess
the
not.
Original. I don't know. Asia, you know, get the little...
Yeah, that's my waifu right there. Let's be real.
There's... You said Akino?
Yeah.
No, he did. Yeah.
I respect that. I respect that choice. But either way, today officially hit the 10-year anniversary of High School DxD.
Is there any new news on season 5?
Other than 2022, that's all the information I have. Which is kind of depressing. But
Yeah, well, at least it's coming.
True.
we're supposed to get a lot of new shows coming out that, you know, we haven't really heard anything on.
Yeah. Darwin's Game would be nice.
Yeah, I'm not going to hold my breath. It's like asking for another season of Dead Man Wonderland.
Yeah.
While we're at it, though, talking about releases, Demon Slayer Season 2 actually was only confirmed. They're only doing 11 episodes this season.
Yeah.
Not doing a full season.
Wait, 11 episodes starting at the entertainment district or
Yes.
starting at...
Yeah.
Starting at episode 1. Which is kind of bullshit, if I do say so myself.
So
Because-
it's just the entertainment district arc.
Yes. So pretty much they give us a useless first episode at 40 minutes, which is pretty much just taking 2 episodes. So they cut off an episode at the end, but made a longer first episode that we didn't really need in the first place.
Yeah, my only hope is their plan is to go arc by arc and just make every arc as good as they can possibly do it.
I feel like they will. It's such a hit show. They're definitely gonna want to milk as much money as possible. And
Yeah.
I feel like we hold them to such a high standard at this point. They're
Yeah,
gonna
but I feel
keep
like it's that same way with Jujutsu Kaisen. Like, you know, if you like cut it off to a point where like you know that your like fan base is like entertained and want to come back, like the movie. I mean, what we were talking about this the other day that the Jujutsu Kaisen movie just barely missed the top day
Yeah, the
one
Demon
seller
Slayer.
from Demon Slayer.
Yeah.
Like literally just missed by like a few thousand votes or a few thousand watches. But it also beat it in like overall sales already. So I mean, like, and we don't even have a season 2 confirmation yet, do we?
I would imagine there. I don't know for sure, but I would imagine there is one. Shows like that, they don't leave you waiting for too long.
Oh, I mean,
God, yeah.
maybe late 2023. We're not going to get it in 2022.
Probably not. It's probably mid to late, like either summer or fall 2023 would be my guess.
So I mean, like shows like that are always going to like, you know, if they know they have the following, they're always going to, you know, kind of cover their grounds while they can and then push you off and make you wait for another season because they know you're going to get you back. I mean, they literally repurposed Demon Slayer movie into 7 episodes just to get more money out of it, pretty much. There's no reason why they needed or to push off their timeline for season 2. There is no reason why they needed to make a 7-episode arc from the same movie.
You know,
I am
speaking
glad,
of,
no, yeah.
what's
Go
up?
ahead, yeah. I was just saying, I'm glad that they at least added that extra episode. Was it like at the beginning? They at least didn't just splice the movie.
Yeah, I mean, they changed the fight. I mean, it's literally like the Boruto movie.
Yeah.
I mean, the original Boruto movie had a different end fight than the show fight itself. So, I mean, like, they changed it up a little bit, but, like, realistically speaking, they kind of just, it was kind of a money grab making 7 episodes out of the same movie.
Yeah, I guess that's a fair point.
Speaking of Jujutsu Kaisen and Demon Slayer, and money grabs, I'm wondering if they're gonna make a Jujutsu Kaisen video game now.
Oh, God, yeah.
I mean, by the time season 2 is over, they'll probably confirm something.
Yeah,
The Demon Slayer
the Demon
game
Slayer game just came out.
broke out. Like, it was all over the place about
Yeah.
how great it was. It was just like the One Piece. I mean, One Piece has how many games? Naruto has how many games out at this point?
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
One Piece has a lot of games, but they're all ass. Naruto has some good ones.
Naruto has some good ones because you actually get to play out the story from like the original
Yeah.
Naruto. Like you play the whole story out, but they also have a good like multiplayer. One Piece's games are kind of ass. You're right. I've tried
Yeah.
just about all of them. But and like Dragon Ball Z, same thing.
Dragon Ball Z, you know, if we're talking about anime video games, Dragon Ball Z has some of the best of the best.
Oh, for sure.
The one issue I've always had with the Dragon Ball Z games is the main hub. Let me play through the story as it progresses, not having to go back to a hub and start like and do like.
When did you start playing Dragon Ball games?
I started playing the Dragon Ball games at what is it, Xenoverse?
Oh, that's your problem. Budokai 3, the Budokai series, that's what you want to play, guy. PS2,
Oof.
those
Yeah,
were the shit.
I feel you. I never played the PS2 versions. I started.
You
at
played
the
through the
Xenoverse.
story and all that.
Yeah, I played like the Xenoverse stuff, and you technically play through the story, but you just play through it like in a crappy way.
Yeah.
It's kind of how I felt about, dude. Like I can't even.
Xenoverse is kind of set up like Destiny.
Yeah, with like a main hub type thing.
Yeah.
But like I felt the same way about like the Jump Force game. I thought that game was going to be way better than it was.
I was so excited.
If
for
we're
that,
talking
and it
about a
was so
disappointment in like anime video games, right there.
bad. Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Probably the largest one in a long time.
You had so many characters like from all these different shows. You know how hard it is to get that licensing, and you really fucked it up like that. Literally, so many shows.
I was so excited for that, dude.
I really thought it was going to be something.
Just shut down the servers or something like that? Or like recently, I feel like.
Yeah, dude, I haven't seen anything on it recently. I mean, they haven't added new character updates, and they've been adding the same character updates for like shows that have already been in it. Like characters nobody gives a like shit on what they want to see. Like nobody wants to see like some sub character from like a show. I can understand the main characters from certain shows. I also hate to be that guy, but nobody asked for Yu-Gi-Oh.
Whoa, dude, Dark Magician was elite.
Yes, but would you sit here and put Yu-Gi-Oh as far as a fighting stance on the same level as like all these other shows that we watch?
Absolutely not.
Like Yu-Gi-Oh, you accept a duel. It's not like you can pull out a card and next thing you know you have Blue Eyes Dragon. It's all in a duel. All these shows that we watch and all these shows that are put into this game, nah. Yu-Gi-Oh, I don't necessarily think... I love Yu-Gi-Oh. I grew up playing Yu-Gi-Oh. I grew up watching Yu-Gi-Oh. But that wouldn't be the first people I'd choose to put in. Like, they put like 4 characters from Yu-Gi-Oh in there. Nobody gives a shit. Like, I don't know. We're way off topic at this point, per usual. But, Jake, I know you're going to be excited about this one. We've somewhat got a confirmation. A lot of rumors going around about solo leveling now that it's over. Getting an anime adaptation.
So, it's not officially confirmed, right?
No, it's not officially confirmed, but...
It'll never happen.
Really?
Probably
It'll
not.
never happen.
I feel like if it was going to happen with any of them, it would have been that.
So you're saying we got a lot of rumors about an anime, right?
A ton, especially now that
because
we
got a lot of rumors about an anime for solo leveling for the past 5 years.
Yeah, but solo leveling also just their story itself is complete.
Yeah, but that
Over the
wouldn't
last
have been an issue for an anime. It's really far ahead. The reason I watched the whole video on
Webtoons
this,
is a
the
little
reason
different.
it'll never get a anime unless it's made by a Korean studio. The reason it'll never get an anime is because Japan is almost an antagonist in some parts of the story. And so I can't imagine a Japanese studio.
But the only thing I can see being a webtoon, I feel like China or Korea would pick it up. Because they've kind of gotten their own, like... Webtoons have their own art style and niche to them, which I feel like flows a little bit more into, like, the Korean or Chinese, like, art style of which shows that they've released already.
Well, webtoons are Korean.
Yeah, but there's a lot of Chinese studios that have fucking picked up, like, that type of art style type shows.
Yeah. Well,
So,
I doubt a Chinese studio will pick it up. It'll have to be Korean.
I mean, we also had, isn't Day of Life of Mortal King Korean?
No, it's Chinese.
Is it Chinese?
No,
And
yeah,
it's
it's
from
Chinese, yeah.
it's from a novel series.
Oh. What was
King's Avatar was Chinese as well.
oh, it's one of your, like, why am I
Tower
drawing
of
a blank?
God.
Tower of God.
That was a Korean webtoon.
That was Korean.
Made
But,
by
like-
a Japanese studio.
But at the same time, like, I feel like Tower of God, like, that's the type of art style that would flow with this type of show.
Yeah, I agree. That was also made by a Japanese studio. Speaking of Tower of God, possible confirmation of season 2. I agree, but Tower of God is in a fictional world that doesn't have Japan as their antagonist. And Solo Leveling, it can be construed that way. So I would imagine that Japanese studios wouldn't want to,
Hear me out. We need just a studio. Dude, Webtoons make so much money at this point. We need a studio to just come out with Webtoons animated shows.
I thought Crunchyroll was doing that, but they've been letting me down. Unless they come out with Tower of God season 2, which possibly confirmed, then Crunchyroll let us down on the Webtoon front.
Because I've read so many really good Webtoons that would be so well put into an animation adaptation that because I sit on Webtoon, I read Webtoons all the time. I feel like there's so many shows that could really take the top shows of a season if they were done right.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
What was the one?
God of High School?
The 5 Elements show. There's literally videos all over the place of one of the big all their fight scenes. Dude, it's got me fucked up because it's definitely the type of.
Talking about Avatar?
No, dude, I wish it. Oh, Fog Hill of 5 Elements. Have you seen any videos on that with dude, it's crazy. It's some wild old folklore type fights and shit.
Yeah.
With fire and cranes and all this crazy stuff. It's been on so many fight lists that I've seen on YouTube and TikTok. It's not released anywhere on the big any of the big websites. It's not really released on because I think it.
Well, that's King's Avatar and Daily Life of the Immortal King. Before that got on Funimation and Netflix, you had to watch it on YouTube through third party.
Yeah, that's the reason I didn't watch Daily Life of Immortal King, because it really wasn't anywhere I could watch it. But now it's blown up on Netflix. It's all over Netflix. First season, at least. Second season, I had to watch on Funimation. But
yeah,
I think it might be Chinese, actually. I'm looking it up right now to try to figure out. Yeah, Chinese studio. Which would be another. I just feel their art style is a lot different than the Japanese art style.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
To where a Webtoons would kind of flow into it a little bit better than a manga would into an anime. But I don't know. I guess we'll move right into the next one real quick. The manga industry suffered a huge loss. Almost $7 billion due to pirating websites. I mean, we kind of covered this a few weeks ago, and how we feel about watching it for free or reading it for free on other websites.
Yeah.
And the effect it has on the industry.
When I was younger, I was all for it, especially if that's the only way you can watch it. Now that I'm older and I understand the industry a little bit more, I try as much as I can, unless you just can't watch it anywhere officially. I try as much as I can to watch it officially, because that view that I'm giving it increases its chance that
to
much
get a new season or something.
To get a new season,
oh,
yeah.
To get something out of the future. You don't think about that when you're a kid, though. I mean,
yeah.
When I first started watching anime, that's not I was watching it illegally for sure.
Yeah.
Because that's just you're a broke high school kid or middle school kid.
Well, back in the day, there wasn't really many options.
True, Crunchyroll was the only big thing, but that was a subscription service. I mean, Crunchyroll hasn't even been around that long. It was like late high school for me, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But no, I mean, now that we've grown up a bit, you kind of understand like the push and pull to the subscription service and everything else. So we do want to see new episodes of all these different shows that, or even like anime adaptations of the manga itself. Like, this is the manga industry that's getting hit. I mean, $7 billion isn't something to,
I'm honestly surprised as well that it's like that. Like, I feel like it would be more. Honestly, like, $7 billion is obviously a lot of money, but like, I feel like so many people just can go to like those sites so easily that it shocks me that it's actually only $7 billion.
Well, it's actually kind of crazy too, because I feel like over the last year or two, especially with COVID, like the whole anime and manga industry has blown up.
Oh yeah.
To the point where, like, dude, like, even buying them, like, Barnes and Noble, you couldn't find a section, maybe a shelf when we were, like, growing up. Or even in high school, years ago. You maybe could find a shelf of anime stuff. But now they have shit all over the place because they sell out. They have, like, all these big box stuff. Like, people pay for it.
Yeah. Oh, but, yeah. And, like, look at, like, Newberry Comics. Like, they have, like, essentially, like you said, Barnes & Noble, but even bigger sections of just, like, just manga or, like, anime stuff. And they make so much money off of it.
And, I mean, I know it's, like, a trend nowadays. Like, we had covered it every once in a while. But, like, way back when, it was one of those things that, like, you referred to somebody like, oh, yeah, he watches like, nerd, like, weirdo, like. But now, like, dude, that's a thing. Like, anime is, like, such a blown up. That's kind of annoying, actually, being one of those people who's watched it for so long.
Yeah, it's become so mainstream. Like, yeah. Nobody gets that, like, prejudice against you anymore.
Yeah.
It used to be, like, around.
Which, at the same time, it's a good and a bad. Like, there's, like, pluses and minuses to both sides of the coin. Because it was nice, being able to, like, have that niche and, like, group of people to where you could kind of, like, you knew you were, like, part of that community. But now, literally, it's, like, something brought upon by everybody. And it's all over TikTok. It's all over YouTube. It's all over everywhere. So
I, like, told my coworkers, I think, like, me and my coworkers talk about, like, what shows we watch. They'll, like, tell them, like, I watch anime. And, like, I work in, like, I work in an accounting firm. Yeah. And, like, I'm shocked at how people aren't like, oh my god, that's so weird.
Oh no,
and
for sure.
Like, yeah, it's like, so it's nice, but it's also kind of like shocking that people treat it that way at this point.
Dude, like, so like the thing is like I didn't bring it up at all. I work in construction and like lineman stuff. So two completely different worlds, like between your world and my world. And I didn't say anything or bring it up. And just from like daily like other people I work with or like older guys, like random people that I would never expect to watch it, bring it up and say stuff. So that kind of like sparks the conversation with me a little bit too, which is kind of weird. I'm at the point where like I don't really bring it up in conversation because like I've always grown up like it was kind of like a weird thing. So like I don't really like. Yeah. But like now it's so like known that like people like just talk about it as casual, like as you watching a regular TV show. Mm-hmm. Which, like I said, I'm happy that it's like blowing up into where like Netflix and all these big studios are getting a hold of them. Like I said, also good and bad, but I'm happy for it. So if it means we can get good shit, it means I got a new season of Bleach. So that's what I'm all right with. Yeah. Run it back, Jake.
Too bad Bleach sucks.
Yeah. Read that last arc like you've been telling you're gonna be for like the last like 4 months.
I don't know if I should read it or read it first or wait for it to come out, watch it, and then read it.
Read it first because it's just gonna hype you up for the new season. Like it's literally just gonna like hype you up. Like I read it probably like 6 8 months ago, and like I'm like shh. bad idea. But I also didn't have a confirmation at that time. So, like, I knew that I didn't think I was going to get a new season.
Yeah.
And I ended up getting a new season. So, like, it's exciting to me. Definitely read the last arc. It'll answer all those questions that you give me shit about every single time.
I mean, there's a lot of holes, John. Especially the one in Ichigo.
It'll all be answered in that last arc. All honestly within like the first like 3 chapters too. Nothing crazy.
Yeah.
I can answer it in the beginning. I just like the characters in that. They waited like a whole 250 episodes to release the fact that his dad's really a badass.
I think Bleach has the best, like, just straight up soundtrack.
Oh, the
like
soundtrack's
that, like,
wild.
Metal type music every time there's like a fight or something.
It's like an
insane.
emo / like metal music, and it
Yeah.
kind of hits that like note with me. It's got some of the like I love the characters like in the character development, all that show too. But I guess before we get too far off track, because I'll talk about Bleach for the rest of the day like you would One Piece. Next on the list, Muroku-chan, which I've been preaching since the beginning of the season.
Great show.
Dude, it's a great show.
Yeah.
It beats Mushoku Tensei by 10 votes and is crowned the top anime of the season.
I did see that.
Honestly, that's kind of crazy. That 10 votes out of all.
Honestly, yeah.
Like, out of all the people that voted, 10 votes.
Every vote counts, man.
But honestly, like, I've been preaching to Jake because, like, the fact that you don't really get, like, many horror anime that's not, like, just, like, crazy gory and, like,
True.
too messed up. Like, this hit, like, a horror anime niche that, like, needed to be hit.
Yeah, because it really did a good job of combining horror and comedy, in my opinion. So, like, there was, like, they did and obviously, like, it's kind of weird at some points, because, like, how
sure.
they kind of, like, you know, over-sexualize the characters, but it's just,
so
like,
we talked about it
you know
a few
what I mean?
weeks ago, about how, like, all these characters were a little bit over-sexualized, and, like, how it was, like, very ecchi to an extent.
Oh, yeah, like, Hannah-chan, whatever they call her.
Yeah.
Like, it's absurd. I feel like that's all.
Like the
only
demon
joke
that
about
follows
it.
her all the time.
Yeah.
Just
and then, like,
groping her 24/7.
Yeah, and then it like goes and gropes like the school nurse or something like that.
Like some crazy stuff. Or like not even necessarily like that. That's like one thing. But like the water and just like being soaked and like
all the scene. There's like I remember seeing like a meme about it, and it was like, oh yeah, like Muroku-chan is like one of the best horror anime, but also, and it's like literally the pictures of them like, you know, bent over, and it's like super tight skirts, and like the water's on like, you know, see-through shirts, and it's like, oh my god, classic anime.
If you put that's just like the culture though. Like it's just gonna happen in every show. You have to put it in every show. But I will preach to the day I die. That's one of the like top 3 for me, best horror anime.
What is?
Oh, it's very good.
Muroku-chan.
I need to watch it, dude.
Dude,
Last episode was good.
Dude, you watched the first episode and then just done.
Yeah, I was watching like 5 shows this fall season, so that one just fell off.
I know, dude. It's just like I feel like it hits that niche. Like it's got like that like creepy, like scary, like horror vibe to it. To where if you watch it at night, like it'll fuck with you a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh god, yeah.
But like, cause I like watch it on my phone in bed in the middle of the night at like 11 at night, and just like the character animations and like certain shit, just like is kind of crazy. But like, Jake, you were out of the room, but Muroku-chan actually beat Mushoku Tensei by 10 votes to be the top anime of the last season.
Yeah, I saw that.
Which is crazy because they had like 26,000 votes apiece.
Yeah.
But if I'm going to list it off real quick, number 1, Muroku-chan. That was the number 1 show of the last season. Mushoku Tensei. Another great show. Number 2 of the last season. 86. I don't know if either of you watched that.
No.
I watched like the first couple episodes of like that first when it first came out, but I just couldn't get into it.
You know, I felt the exact same way. I don't know if it was the mech feel of it. Because, like, me and mech shows are, like, very hit or miss.
I hate mech.
You know?
Have you watched Sakugan? Did you watch that came out?
Yeah.
I think that's like a good mech show. I think that they do it good. They don't really
because
focus
it's not
on
strictly just mech. There's a little bit more to it. That's the show that Kirk claimed was better than Made in the Abyss.
Yeah.
That I called him out on and said, hold my dick, because that's never going to be better than Made in the Abyss.
God, no. Absolutely not.
He, like, put it on the same level as Made in the Abyss when we were talking about it.
I can't. I've watched like that first season of Sakugan. Completely disagree.
Yep, Made in the Abyss is going to be on its own level. Great show.
Yeah,
that's the first episode
for sure.
that we've recorded that I got so upset on. And yeah, have you watched that, Jake? Because I know you were like iffy on it.
Made in the Abyss? No.
Dude. We're getting a new season.
I'm not iffy on it. It's just in my queue. You know how that goes.
Oh, I know. I have so many shows in my queue. Until you list them off, like, dude, like 3 of the shows that you brought up for our like weekly thing have been in my queue for literally years.
Yeah.
And then like I only watch them because it's the show that we cover for the week.
Yeah.
And yeah. Number 4 on the list, Komui Can't Communicate. I've heard a lot of things on that too. Haven't watched it yet.
I didn't watch that one. Yeah.
And then number 5 on the list for the top season shows was Tacked Op Destiny.
I could see that. That was an excellent show.
Bro, shit, we gotta get a 4-piece. We gotta get a 4-piece going here.
I love that show, dude. I absolutely love it.
I'm giving you a round of applause for that one right there, because Kirk hates on that show with a passion. Talks about how god awful that show is, and I literally defend it every single week. The beginning was rough.
Oh God, yeah.
The first handful of episodes, I'm gonna sit here and tell you it was a rough start to the show. Great first episode. Second, third, fourth, fifth episodes, Second half of the season, that's my shit.
Oh yeah.
That shit, that picked up so much over the last, like, the second half of the season. Man, I gotta get you on. We might have to pull up a 4-piece next week, Jakey, because, man.
Yeah, Kirky,
I am so down to debate Kirk about this.
Because Kirk comes out of right field with how terrible that show is. Every single week over the last season, he's talked about how bad that show is. And man, now I got somebody on my
just
side.
uncultured. That's all. That's all.
Ooh, ooh. The sub is calling shots.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm coming for his place, man. Come in 1 week. You better watch out. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, you're watching One Piece. That's already a note in Jake's book right there.
Yeah, you got my approval.
There we go.
Because every week Kirk talks crap to One Piece to Jake.
Dude, it's so good. I don't know. It's
rile him up.
Yeah, well, I mean, he obviously doesn't believe that because you can't, in good faith, believe it's a bad show.
It's going to take me 6 years to watch this show if I do 1 episode in a day, but I'll get there.
Yeah, you will eventually. By the time you get to the end, it will have finished, so.
Yeah, exactly.
We got 2 quick ones to cover real quick before the end of our news segment right here. Oh, jeez, I can't even talk.
Yeah, you're,
we might not even make it to the outro.
Pretty good over there, aren't you, John?
Well, you mix alcohol, and slurred words just happen to be part of it. New show alert that came out over the last few weeks. It's called It's Not Cheating If It's With Your Stepsister.
Oh, God.
It's coming out in January, baby. We're getting it soon. Pornhub is coming out with its own show.
It sounds like a very American anime.
Like, what is it? My Domestic Girlfriend?
Oh,
or whatever
jeez.
it is.
No, that wasn't a bad OG.
That really wasn't that bad. I mean,
No,
I never
it wasn't,
watched the anime, but the manga is phenomenal.
I watched the anime. It was
Or
pretty
my
good.
first
I did
girl-
enjoy it.
my first girlfirl is a girl. Or
Is
my
a gal.
It is a gal.
Yeah.
That's just all about jokes about being a virgin. That's literally that entire show. You don't have to watch it now.
We'll see how that goes. I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna watch it, but
Look, I got my guilty pleasures. I ain't afraid to admit it. I'm a scumbag. It's all right.
I need to do it for research purposes.
Someone's got to bring everybody the news.
It's like World's End Harem that I've been waiting for the last year and a half.
Yeah, it got delayed till this season.
Well,
I already read the
supposedly
manga.
to this season.
Well, isn't it supposed to come out like what? Monday? I want to say. I think it's the 10th.
It was supposed to come out at the beginning of the fall
The
season.
fall. I know that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the first
But then it got
episode's
pushed back.
already out.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
okay.
the
I didn't
first
know if it was
episode
already
came out, but then they pushed back the rest of the show.
Oh yeah. I did see that. I thought it was coming out like next week or something like that.
Quote unquote. We will see.
Yeah.
It'll be covered if it is. Just putting that out there. Well, I guess the last news article I'll cover real quick is World's Finest Assassin was the #1 streamed show over the last season on Crunchyroll.
Yep, great show. Knew
Yeah,
it
it
was
doesn't
going to be
surprise me at all.
fantastic.
Did you finish it?
Nope.
Nope.
Oof.
Well, the last 2 episodes are the best episodes of the season. So
Oh God, yeah.
Looking
It's
forward
amazing.
to it.
Great love story, great fight scenes. So
Yeah.
it's kind of
That's all
how
you
I
need.
felt about Daily Life of the Immortal King.
A #1 romance right there, right?
Fuck yes. Thank you.
Talking
sir.
about it in daily life.
Oh, what a romance! I admit I love my rom-com anime. I'm not afraid to admit that. God, that was a great romance.
Richie.
It was.
That last episode of season 1.
The last 2 episodes were the
Oh my
greatest
God.
episodes of the show.
Yeah. Oh, it's amazing.
Which
And it's
kind
like
of
18 minutes, so it's super quick. You don't have to spend that much time. It's awesome.
I've been watching the new season, and I get the same vibes as the first season. It's kind of all over the place. Please God, just let me get a good ending like I did the first season.
Yeah, they're definitely ramping up. It's so far. It's seems like it'll be a good ending, but who knows?
Well, I mean, it's still actually getting he's getting some feelings back,
Wing
Exactly.
wing.
emotional. I don't
Yeah,
know.
you can
I'm
handle
just
emotions again.
I want a good ending to the season. I preach to Sabrina every time she passes it on Netflix that it's one of the greatest romances.
I know. I harassed her about it as well.
Greatest romances. But because it's not dubbed yet, she won't watch it. So that's kind of where we're sitting on this. So if there is a God, dub it, please, because it will top every single Hallmark movie she's ever watched. I'll take that to the grave. All right.
That's so funny.
All right. Well, with that, I guess we'll move into our main topic. This week, we do not have a show we're covering on Top Tier or Steer Clear. We're getting into the new season. We're getting into the 2022 season. So we're going to kind of glide through the list of shows that have been confirmed for the 2022 season. Whether they stay that way, we will see. But we do have a list of shows that have been confirmed for the 2022 season. So we're kind of just going to go over them real quick, see if we're excited or not excited, if we even know about them. There's a few shows on here that I'm willing to bet we've never seen a season of.
I'll bet
We can only watch so
60%
much.
I've never even heard of.
There's a ton coming out.
There's a
Isn't
lot
there,
of,
I think there's
rom-coms.
30 something shows. Yeah,
There's a lot of rom-coms.
there's a couple of boys love shows coming out.
But there's also some shows that maybe...
Well, we do love the
haven't-
boys, you know what I mean?
Facts. Ride and die for the boys.
That's what Saturdays are for.
Exactly, my God.
Well, we're kind of hanging on the horror vibes. Uzumaki. first show I'm bringing up right here. I haven't seen a ton on it, but all the pictures I've seen kind of really follow that horror, like gritty, dark vibes.
As far as manga is concerned, he's like the Stephen King of Japan.
That's what I've
with
heard.
Horror. Yeah, he is like the greatest horror manga writer of all time. So his stuff finally getting an anime, it's going to be freaky as fuck.
I'm down for that.
That's awesome.
Because it's hard to kind of get that like middle ground with a horror anime between like really gory and like kind of like the scare tactic. Because you got like the Blood Sea type shows.
I've never read any of his manga, but I'm pretty sure it's more psychological.
Which I'm down for. Because I feel like the horror genre really covers like, I mean, Berserk is thrown in the horror genre.
Yeah.
Blood Sea, Alphenlied. Like these are all like really gory shows that are kind of put in the horror genre, which realistically I think of horror as like kind of like a little like mentality scare tactic type thing. So it'll be interesting to see like another show that maybe covers like a darker theme. Like Moroku-chan has a darker theme, but it also has a lot of lighthearted moments at the same time. But this definitely seems like a more darker overall plot point. So I'm excited to see how this turns out. Also, the name kind of gonna be off-putting. You might be getting a few people that are gonna watch this show that thinking it's something that's not.
Yeah.
Yeah,
anybody
for sure.
Anybody who's watched Naruto is just gonna think it's gonna be like a Naruto-esque show.
It'll be a better Naruto spinoff than Boruto.
Ain't that the truth? All right, we'll move on to the next one. At the time of this recording, Jujutsu Kaisen movie, Jujutsu Kaisen 0, has been released in Japan. It has gotten a ton of good reviews, but we got about 6 months at least wait for it here in the U.S.
Sure.
But we are supposedly going to get it in the U.S., so I know, Jake, you're excited for it. You want to see it.
Yeah, I've read the manga it's based off of. It's going to be really good. I'd love to see how they animate it.
I know, Richie, you've been meaning to get into it. I don't know if you have or haven't. I bought you the manga for Christmas.
Yeah. I've read the book you bought me. I literally spent so much time over these past few weeks just reading manga. I feel like I just read like 1 volume a day, like 3 volumes a day of different, like, the Mushoku Tensei, Jujutsu Kaisen in like a day. So I can just read so fast. So I'm very excited. I borrowed 0 from my sister who has it. And oh my god, I can't wait. I'm literally gonna buy tickets for the day it comes out. I don't care.
Well, you're 40 minutes away from me. You're 40 minutes away from me, so we're gonna make sure we're gonna see it together in theaters.
Oh, for sure. Oh god, yeah. I'll see
when I see that shit comes out, whew. Well, I guess while we're on the main topics here, My Hero Academia confirmed for season 6. No surprise here. The last arc was the villain arc. Covered the A League of Villains. They had a new movie that came out in between. That seemed to have a good hit. So I'm assuming this season 6 is going to get just as good of a viewing as all the other ones. We excited? We not excited? How we feel about this?
I'm excited. I saw the movie and it was very good. It was also really cool. They gave out like pamphlets, like little books that explained all the stuff that was going on.
Really?
But I
didn't
have
get a chance to see
my
it.
bookshelf.
I didn't get a chance to see it. Like, I've been meaning to, but I'm gonna wait for it to be released. I'll just buy it. But
yeah, it's very good. I highly recommend it. And I feel like, I'm not gonna lie, My Hero's like probably one of my favorite shows right now. Like at least like the modern shonens. Like I've been really digging it. So I'm very excited for the next season.
yeah, I mean, this is supposed to be like the quote unquote war arc, isn't it? Between like the
the paranormal liberation arc or something like that. I forget what they call it.
Yeah, it's like the League of Villains versus the heroes and stuff. It's supposed to be like
yeah,
a
it's
big
supposed to
war
get
arc.
I think also a lot darker. I might be thinking of the next arc after this, but it's supposed to. So I'm very excited for that. Like when it transitions to that.
Well, Hopefully it's good. It has its own cult following, so hopefully it kind of they kind of don't get lazy with it. So we'll see. I'm excited for it. Jake, I don't know if you're caught up. I know you watch part of the League of Villains, but
I still got like 2 episodes left in the anime. I'm caught up on the manga. I'm super excited about what's to come.
for sure. I don't know if we have a confirmation date for that yet. I don't think so because the movie just came out. So it's probably going to be a few months before we get a confirmation date. I guess we'll move on to the next one. This has been released already. We're a few episodes in, 3-4 episodes in at this point. But Demon Slayer has come out. We're about 4 episodes in at this point. Season 2. I'm excited to see where it goes. They kind of really... First 2 episodes, in my opinion, were kind of subpar. I know it was a plot point type thing. It was kind of just setting the tone for the show. But the last episode or 2 have kind of really picked up the pace. It'll be interesting to see where they go with it because they got into all the fight scenes already. And they still have 7 episodes left. So we'll see what they do with it. But I'm excited. You know, Demon Slayer's the studio behind Demon Slayer has always done a good job. So, Kirk.
Yeah, they do a great job.
Kirk. I just said Kirk. So used to saying Kirk. Richie.
Yeah, what's up?
Excited for the rest of it? How we feeling? We ready for the rest of it or what?
Oh God, yeah. I don't know. You guys can see because we're on a call. In my background, you can see a little square box that is the volume set of Demon Slayer. So I own all of it.
Dude, I know you had told me about. I was about to buy that for Christmas for you, and then you said you got it. So
yeah, I literally pre-ordered it. This is one of my favorite shows. It's so good. I love the direction they're going, and I'm very excited for what's to come.
All right, Jake.
I literally watch it every time it releases. Oh, go ahead, Jake.
Yeah, I also read the entire manga, and am super excited. I didn't like the ending. We can talk about that another time.
Yeah.
But I'd say 90% of the story is phenomenal.
Oh God, yeah, yeah.
For sure, they do the right job of like setting up certain plot points and like aspects of the show.
Yeah, the animation is just mind blowing.
Yeah, and they don't put off they don't go too long without like any like sort of eye grabbing action or like scene. Like they don't go like 12 episodes without like showing anything crazy.
Yeah.
They'll at least like they'll do like an episode or 2 of plot points, but then they'll have a nice fight, like a cool fight or like something that'll really like keep the people interested. Draw it all together and then run it back. Richie, have you seen are you into season 2 yet?
Yeah, I've watched the last episode I watched was the one that came out this past Sunday. So I'm very excited for the next one.
Without ruining it, kind of wild. You get to see a lot of new characters. Yeah. Just happens to be every single character in the same area. Like for no reason. But you end up meeting the wives. And it's a good episode. I don't want to ruin too much for Jake. So,
once again, I've already finished the manga, guy. You don't
yeah,
have to
but
worry about spoilers.
I've read my. I don't know. It hits different. It just always hits different when it's animated.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah.
Which is why I've been so hyped for Bleach for so long. All right, well that's my Bleach shit.
Hot take. And it's not really a hot take because it's a fact. Zenitsu is the strongest character in the show, in Demon Slayer.
Well, dude, so it's kind of funny. Well, you're right and you're wrong. So it's kind of funny because like they made a comment in like the last episode that like me and Kirk kind of like through like notice to is the fact that like he was passed out because he was captured. He was passed out. And then, like, when he came back to, sort of, he was still passed out, but, like, he just fucked people up. But he was still asleep.
So
And they like
I'm
made a
not
note
wrong.
to.
I'm right because he's so strong when he's asleep that the author had to nerf him by giving him like those limitations.
Yeah, for sure.
And honestly, the crazy part is like they've only shown one move that he can do.
He can
He's
only do
only
one
done-
move.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it. That's it. He only.
And he's so
But-
strong at it because he's done. It's the only thing he can do. So he's done it so much, it's muscle memory. So when he's unconscious, his body can just do it.
But that's the thing, is like the nerf is the fact that like, could you imagine if he could do the other moves
He wouldn't be as strong as with that move.
right now? But like, could you like maybe in the future they can
No,
push it?
so the reason he is so strong is because that is his only move, and that is the only thing he's ever practiced repeatedly. While everyone else is doing a bunch of different moves, he can only do that one, so he only does that one, and which makes him the best in the world at that move.
Yeah, but once people know that move,
You can't
Doesn't
block
matter.
it, dude. Lightning, clap, and flash, dude.
You can't block that, dude. No way anyone can block that. That's all I'm saying.
I don't know. But he's also a sub character, so they're never going to give him the proper treatment. I mean, they've
Just
already
gonna
given
drink my drink.
Tanjiro like the. They've already given Tanjiro the. Well, you've read it, so you know, but the multiple breathing techniques,
Yeah.
plot armor, I guess you could say. He has like
Yeah.
the water. He has the
Yeah.
water breathing techniques, but then he has the flame Hashira techniques. Because
It's
of
not the
his
flame
father.
Hashira
Like,
techniques,
it's,
it's sun breathing. It's like way
Sun
above
breathing.
the flame Hashira techniques.
Yes.
It's the originator of the breathing techniques.
Yeah.
Like polar opposites, they're just giving him freaking plot armor out the rip.
I mean, it makes sense. Most shows give their main characters plot armor. Let's
Every
be real.
show.
I know.
Except for One
I
Piece.
know. Oh, Jake,
Yeah.
just putting this out there. If we want to cover holes in chest, Mushoku Tensei.
True. There's a big hole. In
There's
someone's
a
yeah.
chest.
large
Mushoku
hole
Tensei.
put in his
And he's-
torso.
and he's good afterwards.
at years old, but just some healing technique just happens to work.
Are you saying that that's plot armor?
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh, you are.
Yeah.
So
but there's
Ichigo's
also
hole in
nothing-
his chest is plot
So
armor.
hold on. Before you go into that,
Oh boy.
before you go into that, there is no other reference in Mushoku Tensei that would somewhat back up the fact that you could have a hole in your chest.
It's more believable in Mushoku Tensei
No,
because
bullshit.
there's no reason
bullshit.
to believe that Ichigo is a hollow and someone's gonna put a fucking giant ass hole
There
in his
is,
chest
because
and he's just gonna
literally
become
they've shown
stronger.
his holification. They've always shown his
And
holification
in
for
Mushoku
episodes,
Tensei,
on episodes
We've
before that.
never seen any of the gods, right? Except that whatever his name is that put the hole in his chest is the one that healed him. So we don't know what they can do. All we know is they are the strongest people in that world and have the most powerful magic.
But he didn't even
the
heal him.
dragon
His
died.
fucking
Yeah, no,
assistant
he did.
His
No, he
assistant
did.
he
They
just
said
healed
that
him.
he did.
Yeah.
But literally, so dude, Bleach, bro, the whole premise, they showed his holification, and they had literally when he got a hole in his chest was the end of the Waco Mundo arc, where after you've watched every single person in Waco Mundo, every single hollow in Waco Mundo get shit fucked up on them and come back from it. They've proved time and time again that hollows are a different breed. And they've shown that he's a hollow way before Waco Mundo. So it's not like they literally waited until the end of the Waco Mundo arc to be like, yeah, nah, he's a hollow. He literally used it when he saved Rukia.
All I'm saying, John, is that if
You're sitting here acting like
that's
they didn't
Rudius's
fucking...
plot armor, then that's Ichigo's plot armor, if that's what you're going to say.
But Ichigo's plot armor has basis to back it up.
So does Rudius's.
Bullshit.
It's merely just not knowing what the strongest people in this world are capable of.
Whatever you say.
The man god, who seems to be on equal terms with the god that put the hole in, the dragon god that put the hole in Ichigo's chest, reincarnated, or not Ichigo, Rudius's chest, reincarnated Rudius into a different world. They can do whatever the hell they want. They're that powerful.
Whatever you say.
We'll just, for now, we'll agree to disagree.
Agree to disagree. I'll put it that way. Well, we're on the topic of Bleach. We do have a confirmation for 2022 of October. I'd rather not even have a confirmation at this point because now I have to wait 10 months.
Well, it's better. Waiting for 10 months is better than not knowing how long you have to wait for.
Nah.
You have an end date. That end date will come a lot closer.
Honestly, I had like somewhat come to accept my fate of not getting a new season. I'd be alright if they waited until August and then told me, like, oh shit, it's coming out in October. Dope. I have to wait like a month and a half, 2 months. Now I have to wait almost a full year. Because the thing is when they teased it, they're like, oh yeah, 2022. Alright, word. End of fucking 2021 hit. They're like, yeah, October. What the fuck? I don't know. I'm pissed. But, it's what it is. Attack on Titan. 2 days away from the second half of the last season. Half of the last season. I know we've had our grievances over the first half and what they've done with the animation and what they've done with certain aspects of the show. I'm hoping they ended on a right note. I wasn't a huge fan of the animation at all on the first half.
Yeah.
I don't mind the way they went with the plot, but when it came to the fight animations and the Titans and everything else, not a huge fan.
Well, that was the main draw for Attack on Titan. I mean, the plot's great and all, but the animation, before Demon Slayer, the animation was the best.
Yeah, but then they completely switched up and went to CGI when they came to this last season.
That's what I'm saying. That's why it lost me.
That's exactly why it lost me. Because realistically, like, you couldn't tell too much in the first episode with, like, Marley and everything, like, when they were at war. It was alright, like, but, like, as soon as, like, the invasion hit and, like, there was actually the Titans on Titans, you could really tell the difference between the animations between the seasons before this and this current season. You could tell they went deep into the CGI and, like, it really didn't hit the same way as a lot of the previous fights or the previous, like, animations hit. I loved the fucking plot. I love, like, the way they went about it with Eren being, like, rogue and, like, being in the city and just being, like, this depressed dude. But even Mikasa, she looks like a man.
Yeah.
They've changed so much on it.
Well, to be fair, she looks like that in the manga, too.
But she didn't before. She was somewhat waifu material. She's a man.
I mean, she's still waifu material. You just have to question yourself a little bit.
You just gotta, paper bag it.
Just gotta accept it, man. Some people just like that androgynous look.
6-pack. The one thing I will say is Levi had one of the most notorious fights in the show ever. The greatest fucking when he was fighting the Beast Titan.
Yeah.
Oh, it's one of the best fights of all time.
When he just went off. But honestly, Levi has some of the best fights in the whole show, like from front to back in the first place.
Yeah, Levi is the actual main character.
True.
Should be. Honestly. But I don't know. We'll check to see how the second half goes. I guess next on the list, confirmed Black Clover movie sometime in 2022. We kind of covered that. Bungo Stray Dogs, great show. I'm a big fan. Season 4 has been confirmed. I don't know if either of you watched it. I don't know, Richie.
I have not. It's not, again, on my list because that list grows every day.
Yeah, it's just part of being the community. I've told Jake to watch this for a hot minute, but it's on the list as well. Great show. I'm excited for a new season. Fairy Tale.
Don't care.
No comment.
Yeah. I
No comment.
never could get into it.
New season confirmed.
Never getting into it's better than watching 200 episodes and realizing it's terrible.
It's fair, yeah.
Feel that with a lot of shows, actually. Here we go, Jakey. Reincarnated as a slime. Movie confirmed.
Yeah, we already knew that. I don't give a shit. Just give me the third season.
Give me news.
So, I can't wait.
The only thing is I will be 100% accepting of this movie if it follows the story.
Yeah, if it's like a continuation
canon.
and not a
If it's
filler.
canon. And not just like some filler movie. Because
Don't get me wrong, I'm gonna watch and enjoy a filler movie just as much, but I would enjoy
yes
it to
and
be
no.
canon.
Because How to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon, loved that first season. They came out with a movie, completely changed to a CGI enemy, almost like Alpharetta, almost exactly like Alpharetta.
Ari Ferretta.
Yep. Completely changed all the fights and enemy animations, and the movie was absolute dog shit.
Yeah, I never watched the movie.
Neither did I. Hype for season 4 though.
I saw it in theaters because the first season was legit. I fucked with the first season. I loved the first season of How to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon, and then they completely went off the rails on the movie. Terrible. Me and Kirk had gone to see it. Terrible. Dr. Stone, season 3. That's one of those shows that Kirk preaches to every single day.
Yeah, I mean, I only saw the first season. It's really good. It's just, I'd have to go back and start it over. You know what I mean?
It's on my list. I'll get there eventually. If it ends, then it's one of those shows that I can binge watch all the way to the end and not have to stress it.
Yeah, it's a really good show, especially if you like science.
For sure. And the newer seasons are getting a little bit more like... The first season was more of like science-based, but I think they're getting a little bit more ahead of themselves at this point into like a fighting type show. 7 Deadly Sins.
Don't care.
Don't care.
I really wanted this to be good, but I saw the trailer, and it literally looks like a phone app cutscene.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I'm going to say about that. It just doesn't look good at all.
They need to wipe everything but season 1 off the face of the earth.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Vinland Saga.
That's my fairy tale. I'm sorry.
Vinland Saga. I don't know if either of you watched that.
Yeah, watched it, read all of it.
First 2
I'm
seasons.
hyped.
Great. It's a spin-off series, so I don't know exactly what it's about, but...
It's a spin-off series. Wait, you said first 2 seasons. Is the second season out?
Or maybe it was the second half of the first season.
Yeah, there's only 24 episodes.
Yeah, so it was the second half of the first season, because I know they stopped halfway in between at the 12 episodes. I couldn't remember if it was the second season or the second half of the first season, but it must be the second half. But this is supposed to be a spin-off. So I don't know if it's his father, or it might be his father. Like all the stuff.
Either him or Askeladd.
Well, they're kind of part of the same. They run into each other. They know of each other, obviously.
Nah, I mean everyone knows the Troll of Jom, but Askeladd and what's his name never meet before the show.
It could be. I don't know. It could be. I'm assuming that's what it's going to be. Is a prequel of one of the characters from the show.
Yeah.
It's my style. I mean, I don't know what else you'd do as a spinoff, but Blue Lock. It's a soccer show.
I was thinking about trying to watch that because, I love Haikyuu. And so I was thinking I would give, this soccer show a shot just to see.
There's a lot of sports anime, actually, that have been pretty well renowned. You've been preaching to me about getting into that, so.
Yeah, well,
You
fucking
should.
do it.
I agree with Jake on this one. It's an amazing show. It's so good.
Really?
Yeah, you heard
Yeah.
it yourself.
I've seen a lot of...
even the animation is just amazing. The way they portray like what happens in each game. It's a great story.
I've seen a lot about a basketball show too. I can't remember the name of it.
Kuroko's Basketball. I think that's
probably.
Yeah, that would be.
That's a good one. I've watched a couple episodes. It's decent. I just haven't had the chance to get into it really.
Yeah. That's been on the list too. Next, I guess we'll cover Dragon Ball Superheroes. Movie's been confirmed. Whatever.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of Dragon Ball over the last few years.
Anything after Dragon Ball Z was ass, in my opinion.
The Broly movie wasn't bad.
The Broly movie was fire. But that's only because the movie was entirely Goku and Vegeta fighting Broly with great animation.
There really wasn't anything other than that. I know you've been watching this, Jake. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, stop motion.
Yeah, love it.
Great show.
Yeah, love it.
I've seen a lot of clips from that too. Dude, JoJo's has just been so hard for me to get into.
The first season is boring. Second season is worse, and then apparently the third season is where it picks up. I watched the first 2 seasons, then I've watched this most recent one, so I'm gonna go back to the third and catch up.
Yeah. Maybe when it's over. I don't know. It's like it's just always been a tough show for me to get into.
Watch the new season 6 on what's it called? Netflix. It's like 12 episodes. Watch it, and if you don't like it, you won't like JoJo's.
All right. Yeah. Fair enough. Record of Ragnarok.
Never
I don't know if
saw
either of you have
first
seen
season.
It was on Netflix. Really?
Well, it interested me at first, but then I saw like all the reviews and how it's like essentially the way of the house husband, like with its animation, with like the pictures where they just add voiceover over it, and like that really like just dissuaded me
like
from
stills
the show.
And stuff.
Yeah, I feel like it just wouldn't do that good.
So it's one of those shows. I'm not gonna lie. I watched like probably in 2 days. I watched the 12 episode season in probably 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely
hold on, I have a question.
Over the top on every single aspect of the show. Whether we're talking about fights, whether we're talking about fan service, whatever it may be, it's definitely over the top on every aspect of the show. But I will say that it is like a different take, and it's an easy watch to the point where it's kind of just cool seeing sometimes. Like, there was really only 3 fights in the whole 12 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
But those 3 fights were split up between those 12 episodes.
Right.
And it was cool seeing, like, certain, like, characters, people you'd never think to watch in a fight. Like Adam versus Zeus.
True. That's fair.
Like,
maybe I'll have to add it back to the list then.
I don't know. It's an easy watch. It's nothing, like, crazy. I'm never going to put it on my top list. But it's an easy and fun watch. It's definitely over the top when it comes to their fights and fan service. But it got enough of a cult following on Netflix, clearly, to get a second season if Cowboy Bebop couldn't even get the second movie or spinoff.
Yeah.
So, Hell's Paradise. I haven't seen too much on it, but the animations look pretty kind of cool. So I'd be excited to see what's good with that. What else do we got going on here? I clicked off it. Kingdom season 4.
Hyped.
I don't know if anybody's seen that. I've seen it shown up a few times.
Yeah, it's the anime sucks in comparison to the manga, but the story is so good I don't even give a shit.
Fair enough. It's one of those things on Crunchyroll that I've had it on a queue that I just haven't really gotten to.
You'll have to get through the first episode or two. It has really bad CGI, and then they kind of transfer into 2D.
World End Harem. Kind of talked about this a little bit.
Yeah.
We'll see how that turns out. Season 2 and 3 confirmed of Shield Hero.
Hyped.
Let's go. I can't wait.
I'm ready for it. Overlord Season 4 and a movie confirmed.
Don't give a shit.
I watched the first season, so it was pretty good. I gotta admit, that's probably one of the best opening themes. I really do like the theme, just like that heavy metal opening was just very good.
The one thing I hate about that show, and I really wanted to like it, was that everything is exposition. That show is 95% exposition.
Kirky would disagree.
I definitely can't argue with that one. I agree with you on that.
Yeah, I don't know. I wanted to be a fan, and I've seen clips, but that's about all I watched the whole first season and a half. But after that, it's kind of been just watching bits and pieces of it, clips here and there.
Yeah.
I finished the first season maybe a month ago, and I don't think I've watched it since, honestly.
This one, Jakey, the saga of Tanya the Evil.
That's one of those shows I never thought we would get a season 2 for.
Me too. I'm excited though. I'm all for it.
Yeah, 100%.
List there, Richie. Put it on the list.
Oh, it's on there. Don't you? That looks so good.
It is.
Yeah.
That's one of the shows right there. I know Jake doesn't give a fuck about this, but Sword Art Online Progressive movie. It's been released already at this point. Honestly, it's a remake of the original season put into one movie.
Why?
If we're being honest. It's like a reanimated, re-CGI'd
why?
version. Because they show the clips all the time of that, the beginning. But it shows it from, I want to say it shows it from a different perspective, not Kirito's.
Is it Asuna's?
They show it from Asuna's perspective, not Kirito's.
I think that's just the biggest money grab ever. It's a waste of time. I will never watch it.
I think they should have stopped after the last season. I liked the last.
They should have stopped after the first season.
I liked the last arc. You can say what you want, but I enjoyed the last arc. I think they should have stopped it there.
Yeah.
There's no need for another movie. Let me put it that way. Especially when it's the same thing, but a different perspective.
Yeah. And there was nothing wrong with the animation or anything of season 1, so I don't see the point.
Me neither. Money grab. That's 100% it. Ended the last season. Spy Family.
I'm excited for that one. That one looks very good.
That should be good. Love is War. Big fan.
Yeah,
Big fan.
definitely. I'm
excited for season 3.
That's what I watch when I work out.
That's a good show to work out to. I'm not gonna lie.
Because you know how it has little mini episodes inside the episode. I just watch that in between sets. That's how I pace myself.
That's a great idea, honestly.
Another soccer show. Damn, we got a lot of soccer shows coming out. Mob Psycho, season 3.
Hyped.
We're talking about shows I never expected another season of.
I did not expect a season 3.
Yeah, I thought it was over. Because I remember going to read the manga after season 2, and there only being like 3 chapters left in the manga after season 2 ended. So I wonder what they're going to do.
Honestly, me too. But I'm not opposed to it because I love Mob Psycho.
Yeah,
I'm a
100%.
big fan. First and second season, they did it right by it. So, same with next show on the list. We got Devil's a Part-Timer.
Solid.
It's a good show.
Never thought we would get
Great
a season
show.
2 of that either.
Yep,
Yeah.
100%. Ari Ferretta, season 2 confirmed.
Yeah.
So my big question right here is, season 2. Do we think we're getting away from the CGI, or are we sticking with the original season?
God,
1
I hope
vibes?
so.
I think isn't it a new studio as well? So I would assume that they, with all the bad feedback, they'd probably try their best to get away.
I really hope it is. I don't know anything about that, but I liked the first episode of Ari Ferretta so much. I went and read all 11 volumes of the light novel and fucking put up with the rest of the animation of that show. I'm so hyped. I love that. Like, I love the story. I just
Me
hope
too.
they do it
That's
well.
literally, we had talked about this. I wanted so badly to like that show more than I did.
Yeah.
But it was so comedically bad when it came to every fight scene.
Yeah.
Comedically bad. And that's been a
Yeah.
notorious like downside to that show for everybody. Comedically bad.
Yeah, that scene where Hajime pops through the ceiling of the dungeon to save his classmates, that is
Yep.
so badass in the light novels, and it is so lame in the anime. It's such a missed opportunity.
Yeah, that whole show is just brutal. I love the plot, and I'm excited for a new season. And if we can give a good animation to the new season, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Misfit of Demon Academy.
I
Demon-
lost
Demon King
interest.
Academy. Yeah, it's just another one of those shows that, like, you know, you have way too overpowered of like a main character.
No, it's not that. It's just poorly
That's kind of where I
done.
sit on it, because like, you're right. I understand where you're coming from, but where I sit on it is the fact that you need to have some sort of. It can't be just strictly that. Like, One Piece. Oh, geez.
One Punch.
One Punch Man follows that same trope, but there's the comedic aspect to it, or like there's just like that aspect to it that kind of sets it apart from a lot of other shows. Or even like how Not to Summon a Demon Lord has its own little niche to it. But this show doesn't really have anything that sets it apart from a lot of those other shows where like there's literally like a strictly overpowered and like character that nothing can happen to.
Yeah.
I think it
Yeah, I
followed
agree.
a few of those shows, but I don't think it hit a level to where any of those other shows did. Next on the list, Date A Live.
I
got a
only
huge
watched the
following.
first season.
It's on the list, so I can't say much.
It's got a huge following. It's another one of
Yeah,
those
it does.
harem animes.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of lost interest.
Next on the list, my baby right here, Made in the Abyss, season 2,
Terrible.
which is kind of wild that we're finally getting a season 2 after we had 6 movies to finish the first season.
Yeah.
Like, it was actually 4 movies, but the fact that you had 4 full movies to just finish out the plot line of the first season, and now we're coming out with a completely new season that doesn't even follow the main character, well, same characters. Completely new cast of people. But if it's anything like the original Made in the Abyss, I'm all in. Rent a Girlfriend, season 2.
Great
no.
show. Absolutely great.
Is it?
Yeah, I
like it. I honestly like it. It makes me feel better about my love life. Let's be real. Like, I feel when I see that main character going through his struggles, I'm like, God damn, I feel like a stud right now.
I'll have to give it a shot then. That's probably you should be hired as the pitch man for that show.
I just put it on
Slice
their
of
social
life.
media.
Konosuba, season 2.
I thought it was, isn't it 3? Correct me if I'm wrong.
I think there was 2
Because
halves
there's a
to the
movie.
first
I
season.
thought there was 2 seasons, but I
Two
could be wrong.
seasons?
Yeah, I could be wrong.
A season and a movie, I think.
That's what it is.
As far as this
I'm
list is
excited for that.
concerned, it's season 2. So that's what I'm going off.
I could be. Yeah, I could just be wrong. I could be thinking of the movie as season 2, but I'm looking forward to it. I think it's a good show. They definitely hit the right genre with the comedic isekai.
Comedic aspect to it.
Yeah.
Dan Machi, How to Not Pick Up Girls in the Dungeon. It's my show right there. Great show.
Hyped
Season
for that
4
one.
confirmed.
I still need to finish season 3.
Great show.
Yeah. Great show.
Another slice of life right here. Don't Toy With Me, Miss Nagatoro. Season 2.
The first season was pretty good. Pretty good as in, not a serious watch, but something to just,
It's a slice of life anime. It's one of those shows you can kind of...
Well, I wouldn't say it could be categorized as just a slice of life. It's real weird.
No.
Is it
Yeah,
like
it's
a
an
harem-esque?
obscure.
Yeah.
Okay. I haven't seen it, so I can't really put my input in. but
It's a good watch. Not something you have to, pay attention to the whole time. Just a real relaxing, funny show.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Kirk had kind of touched basis on this a little bit, but Orient it just got released, first episode onto Crunchyroll.
Yeah.
Looked all right. We'll see after a few episodes. Code Geass. I think it's a new spin-off. I think it's a prequel. That's coming out.
I only watched the 2 main seasons of that, and none of the spin-offs or OVAs or anything. So I don't know if I'm gonna pick this one up.
Fruits Basket, getting a prelude movie. Great show. Oh, big fan of that.
Is that the one with the girl and the 4 dudes who turn into animals?
No, it's Beastars, isn't it?
No. Fruits Basket.
Oh yeah, no. So that's my fault. I was literally looking at the next slide, which was Beastars. But yes. Which, like I said, next slide is Beastars season 3.
Not interested.
Me
Nope,
neither.
not for me.
It didn't really hit that niche for me. 2 Year Eternity season 2.
I still need to
That's
watch
gonna be
season
sick.
1.
Oh, I can't
big
wait for
fan.
season 2.
That's been number 1 on my queue for the past 2 months.
Yeah, you should watch it. It's so good.
Now that the season's over, it's one of those things where you can just grind it.
Yeah.
2 days and you can finish it easy. It's kind of where I sit on a lot of these shows is now that the 12 episodes is done, I can watch half of it in one day in 3 hours and half of it in the next in 3 hours. Less than 3 hours.
John, you
Okay.
need to work on your binge game, guy.
Yeah, well, the thing is I work.
Blah, blah, blah. Same excuse every time.
How do you think I afford my Crunchyroll subscription?
It's $7, dude. You could sell your hat on the street and you'd make $7.
Well, I actually just downgraded from the upgraded version that I thought we were all splitting, but
I paid you for
Originally.
that for 1 month.
1 month. I just downgraded to the standard version.
That was 2
Or
years
last
ago,
month.
John.
I know. I paid $15 for 2 years. Jake, I know this is a big fan of you're a big fan. Chainsaw Man.
Yeah. It's going to be
Supposed to be
fantastic.
coming out.
I really hope the trailer looks great. The show is super dark. Very Jujutsu Kaisen vibes. And it's a dude with a chainsaw as a face, so. I mean, there's not much
Yeah, I
more
look
to
forward
say.
to it. Yeah.
All right. Well, that is the last show that's on my list. I guess with that, we're going to move right into our last topic of the night. It's our draft. This week's draft, we are covering the best weapons in anime. And seeing how Richie is our guest for the night, we are going to let him go first and pick the order.
Solid.
So I'll go with the order: me, Jake, John, because
What was that?
I'm gonna put you last, but me, Jake, then John.
You, Jake, then me.
Yes.
This is the first time the entire time we've been doing a draft that John hasn't been second.
Yeah,
I gotta put him to the back. He's gotta know his place. That's all I'm saying.
Well, let me just... The order's already set, so let me tell you.
It is a snake draft. So
Second is the worst
No,
spot.
yeah.
Second's
Oh,
the worst
for
spot.
sure.
Second's the worst spot.
That's all right. I'll make sure. Yeah, I'll move him up for a day.
All right.
Well, I mean,
guess-
Rich, you might as well start us off. What do we got for number
Yeah.
one?
I'm taking the ODM gear from Attack on Titan.
Solid.
That shit is it's so versatile. It literally, saves so many people. It obviously kills a lot of people as well, but you can't go wrong with it, in my opinion.
Okay. Jake, what do we got for the number one pick for you?
I'll give you one guess, John.
I mean, I'm willing to bet I pretty much know what it is.
Yeah, that's why I'm giving you one guess.
Is it from Berserk?
Yeah. The Dragon Slayer sword.
All right. I saw that one coming.
Yeah, it's the same one I picked last time.
Yeah, I know. The thing is like you probably could have gone away with waiting on it, but
Yeah, it's a matter of principle.
always got to put a number on the list. I'm hoping this stays along, so I'm gonna switch it up a little. Not even switch it up. I'm gonna do the same thing. Death Note
Solid.
from Death Note.
Basic, but solid.
Yeah.
Hey, you got to do what you got to do. Jake, you're back up.
No, you're up again.
Oh, I do get to. You're right. I always fuck this up. I'm gonna do Zanpakuto.
Knew it.
Do I have to pick individual Zanpakuto or just like?
No, you can do general. But out of curiosity, which individual one would you choose?
I mean, like Ichigo would be the go-to,
Yeah.
but Kenpachi. I'm a big fan of Kenpachi.
Kenpachi's the GOAT. He's the real main character.
Oh, 100%. Kenpachi's the shit. Especially Jake, when you read the new arc.
Really?
Yeah, and you actually either that or Urahara. His Zanpakuto is legit.
Kenpachi
Like,
and Ichigo's
broken.
fight in the Soul Society arc was when I
yeah.
really got hooked into Bleach.
Dude, just wait until you read the new arc because Urahara's Zanpakuto is broken.
Really?
Broken.
Doesn't
Because he never activates it in the show.
Doesn't Kenpachi have a Bankai too?
Yeah, he just learns it in the fucking. He just finally uses it in this last arc. Everybody uses there's a lot of people who never use it throughout the whole show, and then this last arc is when people actually decide to use it.
All right. Anyways,
'Cause
sorry, John, for cutting you off, but I'm done talking about Bleach because it's ass.
all right, here we go. What do we got, Jake?
Let's see. Wado Ichimonji from One Piece. Zoro's white hilted sword. The one he puts in his mouth.
Yep. Peace. All right, Rich. All you.
I'm going to go Samihara from Naruto.
All right.
And then I'm going to go Naofumi's shield as well.
Okay.
With the curse shield, man. Whew.
Yeah, that was... Sometimes I go back and watch that when he in front of the dragon.
Oh, I absolutely... It's so good. It's just amazing.
All right. Liz and Patty from Soul Eater. Those are Death to Kids guns.
Yep. Great show, by the way. Terrible ending,
Yeah.
but great show. Where do I want to go with this? If we're gonna follow along, might as well go with the Executioner's Blade from Naruto.
It's a good one.
You got another picture.
And then yep. And why don't we go with the Punisher from Trigun?
Another good pick.
Jake, back to you.
Dominator from Psycho-Pass.
Ooh. Okay.
Did I steal one from you, John?
Possibly.
Because that's what you picked first last time we did this draft, so I was waiting.
Did you really? Did I really? All right, Richie. You get your last two.
All right, I'm taking Kuwabara's Spirit Sword from Yu Yu Hakusho. Just love that man too much to ignore him. And then I'm gonna go back to Naruto. I'm gonna take this might be cheating, but I can definitely pick one if need be. I'm taking the treasure tools of the Sage of Six Paths. They're like the gold and silver brothers used.
That's definitely out of the box.
Yeah, I thought I would go very unconventional.
How many do I have? 4?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, one more.
Oh, man. I wasn't going to do this, but now that you mentioned it, I got to give a shout out to the OG Yusuke's Spirit Gun from Yu Yu Hakusho.
That's fair. I was tempted to pick that one, but I love my man Kuwabara too much.
Yeah. He, some side characters just carry the show.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, making it tough on me here. I got a few that I wanted to choose.
Just pick anything, John. You're not going to win.
That's how you really feel. Ooh, I completely forgot about the Kinke from Tokyo Ghoul.
Yeah.
You know what? I think we're gonna go out of the box on this one. Go with the God Arc from God Eater. Nobody really knows what that show is, but I'm a big fan, so.
Yeah, I've never seen it or played it.
Yeah, neither have I.
Great show. Wish they made more seasons instead of video games.
Well, it was originally a video game, so.
I know, we went over this. But the anime was great. I liked it better than video games, so.
Yeah.
Wish we actually got more of an actual story in the anime. I mean, shit. Any last thoughts on our discussions tonight?
All I have to say is, you told me yesterday we were going to re-record this and it was going to be a short episode. I'm pretty sure we're approaching our longest episode yet.
We are, actually, to be honest. That was the plan originally, but when has our plans ever gone to plan?
You know what it is, John? You got drunk way too early in this podcast, and so you actually contributed a lot to our arguments.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's very true.
Which just pumped up the time.
I mean, Kirk also likes to talk a lot more than Richie does. So, like, you know,
It
y'all
balanced
go
out.
back, y'all go back and forth. So, like, you throw me into the mix, and
Yeah.
you're right. I also have gotten a lot drunker a lot earlier.
Yeah, well, it doesn't change the fact that bleach sucks.
And here we go into the outro. Just putting that out there. We're wrapping up the re-recording of episode 11 of the Anime Happy Hour podcast. Make sure you feel free to reach out to us anytime. Suggestions, questions, concerns. This is episode 11. We technically put out 13-ish. So feel free to reach out to us. Episodes go on. We're still kind of getting our legs to it, getting used to the whole vibe of the podcast world. So feel free to contact us. You can check out our Facebook at Anime Happy Hour Pod. You can email us at animehappyhour951@gmail.com. Currently streaming on Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and just about anywhere that you can listen to a podcast. We're also in the process of setting up a YouTube channel. I know we've been kind of slacking on that a little bit. We're working on that, kind of ironing out the kinks over the last few weeks. So make sure you keep up to date with us. Check out all of our links on our Anchor page. That'll have links to our Facebook, our YouTube, and anything else that we post up, as well as all the previous episodes. So check that out at anchor.fm/happyanimehour03. Other than that, I think that's it for tonight. I think that's us signing off.
See ya.
Peace, boys.
See ya.